Hey everyone, it's Matt. The $1,000,000,000 question. When will we receive the $1,400 stimulus check, otherwise known as the third stimulus check? Also, will it actually be $1,400? Could it possibly be more? Or could it possibly be less? We'll be talking about all of that in this video. And yes, this video does pertain to everybody, including Social Security, retirement, disability, survivors, SSI, VA, RRB, low income, and no income individuals. But hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Matt. My dedication is to be back every single day as your daily advocate, helping you navigate this time and making sure that you're taking advantage of any and all benefits, programs, and potential money that you are eligible for during this time. So if you like the sound of that, make sure to hit the subscribe button right below the video. Thank you. I truly appreciate your continued support. Also, let's make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social media so we can help out as many people as we possibly can during this time. And there's just a lot of people saying, hey, when are we going to get the next $1,400? I need the money like yesterday. So let's get into it and talk about the $1,400 stimulus check and when can we possibly see this thing. Now remember, this was being sold originally as a $2,000 stimulus check. Well, as it turns out, they said, well, it's actually going to be $1,400 would be the additional payment. However, could the $2,000 actually be back in play? More on that to come in just a second. But let's assess where we currently are. Now that we're approaching, well, let's just call it late-ish January, not quite late, but kind of like middle-ish to early, late-ish January. Where are we potentially sitting with the negotiations on the $1,400 stimulus check? And what hurdles do we have in front of us that we need to clear before we can potentially see this $1,400 stimulus check being distributed? Well, those are actually really good questions, and yeah, let's talk about it actually. So remember, this is something that they wanted to distribute right away. Remember Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer, maybe about a week ago, they were both out in statements saying, hey, we're going to get this stimulus check out as quickly as possible. We want to get this into the hands of the American people who are struggling and need this money right away. Well, we thought, originally, based on those statements, we were thinking, yeah, this is going to be great, right? Inauguration day, he's going to finish up his speech and sign some papers saying, hey, we got some stimulus checks on the way. Well, unfortunately, that's not quite the case. In fact, according to analysts right now, they're suggesting that at the very earliest, like best case scenario, we could potentially be seeing this stimulus package passed. Like I said, best case scenario in mid-February. Why? Why are we looking at mid-February? The inauguration is January 20th, right? So we're basically sitting on inauguration day. Why do we need to wait another month to get this thing passed? Well, remember, this is a proposal. At this time, it is still a stimulus proposal. Remember this whole thing? We've gone through this so many times over the last year now, how many times we've gotten these proposals and how long it takes them to get through them. Basically, we need to get into the negotiation process. So yes, anybody can bring a proposal to the table. But once we get the proposal, at that point, we need to run through the thing and go through all of the different elements and aspects of the proposal and negotiate out different aspects, right? Well, let's see where we can add money here, take away money from here, add this program, take out that program, all of these different things. So originally, many people were thinking, well, is the stimulus check just going to be a standalone bill? No, it's not going to be a standalone bill. It's not going to be individual. It's going to be within the stimulus package, the next one. Joe Biden has made it very clear it's not going to be a standalone bill. It's going to be included within the next stimulus package. So that's what we're dealing with. Well, within the stimulus package, there are all kinds of different programs. So we'll need to have Congress come together. We'll need the House and the Senate come together to negotiate out all of the different aspects of the stimulus bill and agree on everything. And we know how long it can possibly take them to agree on something, right? There's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of negotiations. They need to hash out all of the different price tags of every different proposal, every different program within the bill, and decide, okay, we're all comfortable with this. Let's finally push this thing through. It takes a very long time. So with that being said, like I said, analysts are thinking best case scenario, we could get this thing passed as early as mid-February. Well, what would that mean as far as the stimulus checks? When could we possibly see these things distributed? Well, they're based on The first round of stimulus checks, they were saying it took 2 weeks to get distributed. You're right. It did take 2 weeks for the first $1,200 stimulus checks back in early-ish 2020. And then when we reference the second round of stimulus checks, many people received them within just a few days of being signed by the president, but many people are still waiting. Unfortunately, there's still millions upon millions of people that are still waiting for those payments. So that's really unfortunate. So again, if we give it another roughly just say average of 2 weeks for the distribution, if it passes in mid-February or gets a signature in mid-February, that means we could possibly be seeing payments. Yep, you guessed it, late February called / early March. Well, that's the best case scenario according to some analysts. There are other analysts and other people who are suggesting, yeah, we're actually not going to see this thing pass until mid-March time. Well, that's like 2 months from now. That's a long, long time from now. Well, if it actually passes in mid-March, that means we'd get a signature, okay, mid-March. That means the distribution of these payments could possibly be as early as late March, possibly be early April. That would be a long, long time from now. That's like 2 months, 2.5 months from now when we're potentially seeing payments. That's ridiculous. What happened to the distribution of these payments right away? Well, in my opinion, that's not right away. I was guessing, we want to see distribution like, hey, Inauguration Day, we got it. All of a sudden, payments are coming out the next week, right? I feel like many of us were kind of anticipating we would see payments relatively quickly. Well, it might not be as quickly as we were thinking. So that's unfortunate, not quite what all of us want to hear. Of course, maybe they could work a little bit faster and get this thing approved a little bit faster than originally anticipated, but we'll have to see on that. All right, so let's talk about the price tag of this. Could it actually be $1,400? Will it turn out to be $1,400? Or will it actually be $2,000? Well, that's another discussion. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is because there are actually people coming forward saying, hey, you guys sold this thing and you guys promised $2,000 originally, and then you came back and said, well, it's actually going to be $1,400 now, taking into account the other $600 we already received and making it $2,000. And some people are saying, hey, that's just simply not fair. You said it was going to be $2,000. So we're actually getting some pushback on this, which is actually good for us, right? We want the $2,000. So this is actually good for us that we're having some lawmakers and officials, like government officials, coming forward saying, hey, we actually need the $2,000. We can't do this $1,400 business anymore. We actually need $2,000. So for the best interest of us, even though, however long it takes them to get this thing passed, whether it's $1,400 or $2,000, it's realistically going to take the same amount of time. Whether they agree on $1,400 or $2,000, realistically, it's going to take the exact same amount of time, whether it's mid-February, late February, mid-March, late March, doesn't really matter. So I feel like let's go big, right? Let's go for the $2,000. Everybody wants the $2,000. Everybody needs the $2,000. Let's go for that. So we have a few people on our team really going for this $2,000, which is actually really nice to see because I think a lot of us were also thinking, sweet, hey, $2,000, that's going to help out a ton. So I think a lot of us were very excited about the $2,000 number. So more on that to come. We'll have to see how that actually shakes out, but we'll have to see when we actually get this thing. Now, in some of my other videos that I've been releasing lately, I've been saying, hey, let's get everything in order now. Let's make sure we have everything up to date with the IRS, with the Social Security Administration, so that in the event the next stimulus check is distributed in the next, say, month and a half, 2 months, 2.5 months or so, whenever the next one is distributed, let's get everything in order now so that as soon as that payment is approved, we can get our payment right away, just like everybody else. And you know what? I do know that there are a lot of people, there are a lot of you watching these videos who actually already have everything up to date, and for some unknown reason, you're getting paper checks or prepaid debit cards, or you're getting the status in the Get My Payment tool saying, hey, not available, not enough information. You're getting some weird status and you need to file a tax return. We don't know why that's happening, but I just want to emphasize, let's get all of this stuff. For some reason, if you moved or if your banking information updated, maybe you opened a new bank account, maybe you switched banks, maybe you moved and your address changed. Let's make sure we use this time right now through the rest of January and early February to get all of this stuff lined up and perfectly in line so that we have, all of your information, the direct deposit information, your address, all of that updated with the IRS or Social Security Administration. So when it comes time for them to push the button to send out that next round of stimulus checks, hopefully they're $2,000, right? $2,000 across the board for everybody, every man, woman, child, adult dependent, and everybody's dog, cat, hamster, iguana, whatever you have. Hopefully everybody is getting these $2,000 checks. They can send it out immediately, and it'll hit your account as quickly as possible. So I know I've been saying that in my videos, but I just want to say it's so important to get that. Otherwise, we're going to be in the same situation that we're in now, which is a huge headache, and we need to continue waiting longer and longer for all of you who are unfortunately needing to file a 2020 tax return, who typically wouldn't file, but you need to this year because simply they left a message in your Get My Payment tool saying, hey, sorry, not enough information or not available. That means you need to file a tax return. So anyway, we have a little bit more time. We know it's going to be probably best case scenario about a month until we're going to see stimulus checks based on what they're saying. However, things change. Things do change very rapidly. We've seen this throughout all of 2020. Remember that? There was a lot of drama in 2020 when it came to stimulus packages, stimulus checks, and everything else going on. So we know things can change very rapidly. Either way, I will stay on top of everything. I will continue to keep you updated with everything going on because I know everybody needs the update information as quickly as possible. And I know all of you want to know when are we getting the money and what benefits and what programs, what is available to us. We need to know right away. Well, don't worry. That's why I'm here and why I create these videos day after day after day, because I want to help you out in any way I can. So I hope this gives you a little bit of clarity. I know we don't have definitive answers. I get it. It's frustrating, but at the same time, this is the best that we have as of right now, according to the analysts and government officials who are, kind of leading this whole thing. So I'll keep you posted. Stay safe. And when we get more answers on the distribution, of course, I'll be back. But otherwise, I will continue to give you daily updates with everything going on. Stay safe, everybody. Thank you for your continued support. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and share the video with your friends, family, and social media. Everybody will really appreciate it. And I will too. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you later. See ya.